All right, guys, episode 3 of the Spoken Podcast. My name's Gareth. I am here today with a very special guest, business partner, co-owner, and my mum, Dee Thomas.
Partners in crime.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go that far.
No, maybe not. Oh, I don't know.
How are you?
I'm very well. Bit nervous because I don't know what you're going to ask me.
The whole plan was to have Mum on episode 1. We'd start off as how we created the company and stuff like this. Mum is shit scared of being on a podcast.
Of course.
I know. So we had to kind of show Mum Ruby's podcast as well as Zoe's podcast to try and get her on, which worked. So great editing, Pete. Again, shout out Peter Cullen. Subtitles. All right, let's start off. Top five songs.
Okay, so I thought about this. When you asked me, I thought, I haven't got 5 songs because I listen to so much. And then I thought, if you wanted them to be meaningful or have a story behind them and all that sort of jazz. So I thought, I'm just going to think of the ones that I really love. Yeah. So the first one comes to mind, and you'll remember this because I used to play it to you. Well, I used to play the album to you on your way to school while you were bouncing around in the back of our Ford Orion to times. Nirvana, Team Spirit.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, all of the songs I like, I'm going to put on a playlist and then I'm going to whittle them down. Oh my God, I've had a ball. I've been in the car, I've been listening to them. Why haven't I listened to these songs before?
I know.
They're amazing. So that's on full blast. So that is one of them. Okay. I think I secretly had a crush on Kurt Cobain.
It's probably he's tattooed on me now.
Well, yeah, but then ended up marrying your father who looks like Peter Perfect.
Yes.
So I don't know.
He looks more like Peter Andre.
Yeah, I don't know. Cliff Richards.
Yeah, Cliff Richard. If anybody knows Cliff Richard, and I really hope Pete will be able to do this. Pete, yep. I will send you a photo of my dad.
Yeah.
And then if you can put my dad and a photo of Cliff Richard, and they're basically the same person.
Oh, they are. Yeah, so, same lisp, everything.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Good
not
times.
As good a voice, but...
Definitely not as good a voice.
So the other one that I liked is Hotel California.
Yeah, classic.
That is brilliant by the Eagles. I loved that. So that was cranked up. I remember, and this is why this is one of my favorites. I love Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
And I love Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. And the reason why that is so prominent is because I went to see him up in Hammersmith. And I was with some people and we were right round the back of Hammersmith, I think it was where we saw him, I can't remember, just biding our time until they opened, and they all came out round the back. There was just like about 6 of us there, and they were smoking and having a chat, and it's just incredible. But he was the most intelligent person, and his lyrics, and I think he might have been a bit on the wacky backy while he was doing them, but they were amazing. Pardon?
Everyone was.
Yeah, probably. I wasn't.
No, of course not.
No. Goody two shoes.
Yes.
So he was one of them. Then, of course, I always thought I was Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
With, again, my natural hair, which looks like a pillow's exploded. So Stevie Nicks is another one of my favorites. And Stand Back is amazing. So I love that one. I also love Kate Bush. Wuthering Heights is a masterpiece, basically. And Running Up That Hill. How many have I said?
You want to do one more?
Maybe one more. Okay. So this one is a bit, I don't want to put a downer on it. But Peter Gabriel. Oh no, and I love Genesis. Follow you, follow me. That's another one. But Peter Gabriel is just superb. And he did a song, Don't Give Up. And he did it with Kate Bush, who was obviously another of my favorites. And the reason why it's so important to me is I'm going to get really upset now.
Please don't cry. Please don't cry. We have so much time on this podcast. We do not need you to cry straight away.
Sorry.
You can cry later on.
I had gone in to see Kenny.
Yeah.
And they had said that they couldn't do the operation they wanted to do because, it was too late and everything. And I was trying to phone my best friend, Jo McEwen Thomas, to tell her. I didn't know what I was going to tell her, but I was trying to. And this song came on the radio. And I just... it was... But sometimes you need a good cry.
Yeah, I know. Who was I talking to that to? Oh, Owen. So obviously we met up with Owen yesterday, day before.
Yeah, day before.
Yeah. And yeah, we were in the car coming back from the airport and he was just saying, he goes, I hope I cry. And I was like, what do you mean? So he was going to do some breathing exercises and stuff like that.
What, in the car?
No. When I dropped him off. So the next day he was having like a day to himself, no phone, nothing like that. Which I thought was pretty cool.
I see. Yeah.
I probably need that. And yeah, he was saying he goes, I kind of hope I cry. He goes, I can't remember the last time I cried. He goes, I feel like everyone just needs a good cry.
Yeah, it's true. You do.
It is, yeah. And then I was telling him, it's I'd cry at stupid stuff.
You're quite emotional.
I'm very emotional.
Yeah, you are.
I am very emotional. Yeah, no, I definitely did not get that from my dad.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen Dad cry.
No, I don't think I have either.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. I don't think so anyway. But going off topic, he was asking me if I was emotional and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm a sack of shit.
Yeah.
I was very bad. And then I was telling him an example and I was like, I didn't cry, but there was a part in Dumbo. I know, not the old film, but the new film. I can't even remember what it was, but something happened. And when you feel in your stomach or something, you're like, oh, I could go now.
Yeah, and I do.
Oh, that sounded wrong. I meant, yeah, I could go now as in cry. And I was just like, oh, shit, I think I'm going to cry. I didn't cry, thankfully.
Were you in the cinema?
I was in the cinema.
Oh, see, that's
I know. I was next to Lani, and I was looking at Lani, who's the Ice Queen.
Really?
I've seen Lani cry once, and that was because of an animal, which is the only time I think I'll ever see her cry ever. Yeah, I think, if I can remember. I've probably made her cry a couple of times.
I'm sure you have.
I know, putting up with me. But no, it was, it's quite funny that you say that, isn't it? I agree, though. I think everybody just needs a good, wah!
Yeah, they do. You definitely need that. And I needed that at that time. And I mean, you get the headache afterwards and, I'm not a pretty crier.
Who is a pretty crier?
I'm really not a pretty. It's very, very ugly.
Unless it's fake, it's not really a pretty cry, is it?
It was awful. And that's why I like Peter Gabriel. And whenever I play it, because it's associated with that, it has the same effect. Yeah. 100%. So, sorry.
No, I was actually going to say, I was going to stop you and just go keep on moving the mic because it's when it gets too close, we can't hear you.
Oh,
so
right.
It's fine now.
Okay, so it's fine.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get down to business.
What? There's more? I thought it was just the 5 questions.
And then that's it. Yeah. Okay. So there's one thing that I found out a couple of days ago about your background, which is nuts because I thought I knew the whole story and why you went into hairdressing and whatnot. So a bit of a background side note. So we kind of founded Elysian Institute 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
6.5 to 7 years ago. Mum's background's hairdressing, which she will explain shortly as to why she got into hairdressing. But yeah, so Elysian Institute kind of covers hairdressing, beauty, makeup, the whole lot. So that's from apprentices, full-time and whatnot. So yeah, we started that around 6.5 years ago to 7 years. And then 4 years ago, we started the Barber Academy Australia. So we are business partners.
We are.
I kind of think we're more business partners than mother and son sometimes.
Oh no!
I know that's really sad, but it is.
It is.
It always feels like we catch up and it's like work.
Yeah,
work.
I know.
And everyone
it's
goes,
difficult not to.
Amazing working with your mum, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I don't think enough people probably know our backgrounds and why we started the colleges in general.
No.
So it was really interesting when I heard you talking to Owen and Lee about that. So let's hear why and when you got into the hairdressing industry.
Okay. When I had just finished my A-levels, which is what, year 12 here, something like that?
Yeah, I think it's equivalent. How old would you have been? 18?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around year 12.
About there. I'd finished my A-levels. I'd got quite good grades, and I had been encouraged, let's say, by my father to take what they call technical drawing in school, because I was going to be a draftswoman. And he said, you know what, because obviously he was in that sort of profession. He goes, there's no draftswoman anywhere. Mind you, this is quite a long time ago. He goes, for you to be a draftswoman in this, he said, they'll be, falling over themselves because it'll be something different, a novelty to start with, and then they'll find out how good you are. So I thought, I'm going to use that to my advantage. However, you know what Nanny's like, my mother, she had other ideas and she wanted to move to Brighton, which is 6 hours away from where we live. I was going to say
it's a bit more than 6 hours.
6 miles.
6 miles.
And you can't come with us because you've just done your schooling. You're going to go and go to university, blah blah blah. So I thought, okay. So she found me this room with this old lady who used to sit on a what they call them, the seats that have got the toilet in them.
Yeah, I don't actually know the name.
Well, she used to sit on one of the commode. Yeah. She used to sit on one of those. She had like a bay window. She'd sit in one of them and watch the world go by. That was,
that's the life.
Yeah. So I got fixed up with this woman. I had my own room, but my mum said, I'll give you enough room for, food and board, but everything else you've got to find yourself. Yeah. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to get a job then, aren't I? So I went to this hairdressing salon, and I started work there. And I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but I do have a little bit of confidence. So I told them I could do all of these things, which I couldn't, but I said I could. And somehow or other, after about, it didn't seem very long, they went, if you give up your university, you can come work here as an apprentice. And I thought, okay, how am I going to get this past my parents? So I spoke to my dad and he goes, well, tell me a bit about it. So I said, well, you've got to pay for it for 6 years. He said, so you don't get any money at all. No, not for 6 years. And then I'm a hairdresser.
So were you not even getting paid a wage as an apprentice?
No, you had to pay for it.
Interesting.
I know. That shows you how long ago it was. Yeah. Wow. And in those days, which is why I think we've got such a good work ethic, right? Because I brought you up the same. And I can remember, going off topic, my boss calling me because we had snow in the UK and there was like 5 meters of snow, right? And where I worked must have been about I don't know, 30 miles away. And I'd gone home on the weekend and it had snowed. So you're stuck. So we went, oh no. He said, we've got burst pipes in the salon. You need to get in. I said, but there's no buses, no nothing. Then you walk.
Yeah, nice.
And I walk, Gar.
Yeah.
It took me...
I can't imagine you walking.
Well,
I could imagine you doing work, but I can't imagine you walking.
I was a bit different then.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of bed the next day because I'd have to lift my legs up in the snow, right? So, but it was like, it wasn't an option, you know? Anyway, so I started there. My dad was, you know, gutted. But then he did say to me, when I achieved my goal and I finished, I became freelance, which is just another word for mobile. And in those days, I really was the only mobile hairdresser. In Nanny's Morris Minor with moss growing in the back.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, very affluent. But he said, you know what? He said, you're right. He said, if you want to make it in this world, you've got to be fish and chip shop owner, funeral director, or a hairdresser, because everybody eats, everybody has a haircut, and everybody dies. And it's right.
It is right.
I've never, ever been out of a job. And, you know, I came here when I was 18 because I'd made so much money being mobile, and I got a job straight away. And it's just, you know, I've worked in London, I worked for L'Oreal. I used to go to, what's the place? The Stringfellows in, nobody's probably ever heard of that, but it's where all the celebrities went. You know, I can remember going with Thin Lizzy. Geez, that is really showing my age. And it was just another world.
Yeah.
And I was on a set with U2, Truth, real story. And we were bleaching I think it was the drummer's hair.
Nobody knows the name of the drummer. They only know Bono, don't they?
Sorry.
And what's the other one? Edge?
Edge. Well, he didn't have any hair.
Yeah.
He was Welsh, though.
Who? Edge?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought they're all Irish, man.
No, he's Welsh.
Oh, I reckon you're going to get called out on that.
Right, you need to look up it in the will. Yeah.
Pete's on that.
And I thought, I had to pinch myself. I said, I'm here.
Yeah.
It was just incredible. And you can do anything with it. You know what I mean? You mix with, really creative, fun people. I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just so disappointed I'm getting old.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of one of them where it is quite funny because I don't think you act your age.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I was going to say.
In a good way.
Right.
But it's definitely like, when we speak to students and stuff like that they still understand what you're trying to get across and you understand what they're trying to say and stuff like that. I think that's huge.
I put in here, is the Edge from U2. I'm going to put Welsh and it's come up bald. Yes, he is.
Yes, he's also bald.
He is also bald.
All right.
Yes.
What?
Welsh.
All right. Edge is Welsh, apparently.
He is.
In an Irish band, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, he's brought up in Ireland.
But he was born in Wales.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So what would be, let's say, the top 3?
Oh, God.
Right?
Okay.
So what would be the 3 things which you think have changed the most since you first started and now? Because I'd say we're still pretty current in the industry.
Yeah,
Even though you don't teach as much as what you used to, or do his hair as much as what you used to. But I'd say you still kind of keep up with the trends. But
yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting because it just seems to do a full cycle all over again. It's like it just...
Oh, yeah. So. I mean, there's only so many ways you can cut or treat hair. I tell you, and it was funny when I was talking to Lee day before. Yeah. And this is what I was going to bring up, but I don't know. You've taken over the conversation and didn't leave me any time to speak. Sounds but right. I was thinking nowadays it's all about social media.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants a haircut or whatever, that's what they see as a benchmark. Whereas when I was a girl, it was famous people.
Yeah.
But they had to be icons so that somebody would come in. I mean, in those days, they didn't even have the magazines that they've got. So it would be, how do you want your hair? Oh, Farrah Fawcett Major.
Yeah.
You know, or they go, you know, the one in Charlie's Angels. Or Lady Di was really, you know what I mean? So it's those people. Whereas now, it's, unless they're on Instagram or Facebook or right in your face, nobody knows about them.
Yeah, I know. I suppose the thing is, those icons which you're talking about are now icons on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Like, I know Arthur's, and I do have a man crush on David Beckham, obviously.
Of course.
And
well, everybody's got a crush on David Beckham.
I know, but the guy changes his hair more than I change my pants. And it's like, well, how do we know that he's doing that? Because he updated on Instagram.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Whereas, I mean, you'd see it in if they did a new movie or they did a press or whatever it is back in those days.
Back in the days. But there was more, that I suppose now, in a good way, there's more variation.
Yeah.
Because back home, you either had Lady Di,
Farrah
Farrah Fawcett, or, you know, the one thing I do think is changed, and I'm not sure it's for the better, is the training.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my apprenticeship was 6 years, okay? And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. As it happened, the person who was training me was amazing.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant. And she was very generous with her craft, with passing down information and everything. So that was great. But I can remember having to wade through, like, you know, pile high of hair pieces on a Saturday morning. I'd have to go in early to set them all up and dry them so that when the people came in again, you know, and I think maybe there was more community because they came in every week for their hair. Blow drying hadn't come out then. I really am old. And it was, they couldn't do without that. They put their hairdresser on a pedestal.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, even that's from when I remember going to the salon with you and like going to the college back home. And it was like, it seemed to be that everybody respected even the educator. And I think that's losing kind of credit now as well. It's, I mean, we're pretty lucky all of our staff still work in the industry.
And that's essential.
I think it is essential. But I mean, it's funny what you said about the apprenticeships, because I know when I speak to Kieran, who teaches our night class, like he'll say the same thing. He's like, I learned so much in my apprenticeship, not hair related.
No.
But I learned so much. Like if you turn up late, go and find a new salon. Yeah. Like it's, and I feel we lose that, and I think we have lost that. I don't know whether it's generations or what, and now I'm sounding old. I'm only 31, but it is that, like, it's the whole, like, oh, I'll wake up and then I'll just rock up. And it's like, what do you mean? I couldn't imagine doing that. And I think there is a bit of a respect kind of thing there. Obviously, we've been pretty lucky with having the school. We've dealt with a lot of salons, a lot of hairdressers, barbers and whatnot. And also we had a lot of freelancers in our old salon in Mermaid. So it's kind of like, I suppose we see the 360 because we see education, students, staff, everything. So it's a bit of an eye-opener to see where people are going. It's, I mean, at the moment, from an outsider looking in, and I'm definitely not calling myself a hairdresser. I would love to, well, you know, I'm trying to learn to be one, but it's from an outsider looking in, it just seems that everyone's like, I don't want to do an apprenticeship. I want to do full time. I want to learn everything. I want to soak it all up, and then I just want to do it. Yeah. And that seems to be the mentality with everything. And I can say firsthand, I've done that. Like, I've wanted to do my MBA for how many years? And it's like, instead of going, I should be looking at the longest course so I can like absorb as much as possible. I'm going, well, that one's a year. If I just smash that out, I'll be qualified. I'll have the certificate. Brilliant kind of thing. So that is the kind of juggling act which we deal with personally, but also as a college as well, because we get a lot of people who go, oh, well, I can get it quicker through these guys or that, or oh, why is yours so long? Why is yours so short? Why is yours so cheap? Why is yours so expensive? So it's like, and I think that's the same with everything we deal with. It's like, we were talking about products earlier. And it's like that. It's like people go, oh, well, the margins, instead of just going, that product's amazing, let's buy it. It's like, oh, but what about that? And it's so sad that we have to do that in education, because I really feel they should have the best stuff. And I think that's one thing which we've done from the start, again, which we spoke about a couple of days ago. It's absolutely terrible business minded to do what we've done. Like,
I know. Yeah, I know.
Whenever anybody talks to me about business and stuff like that, or I listen to podcasts or anything, I always think, I'm like, what the hell were we doing? Like, what were we doing? Like, we basically just went, like, when we took that salon on, how much we paid for that salon. Like, we had no face-to-face students. They were all apprentices or online and whatnot. And we've just taken over this massive salon on the Gold Coast Highway without any kind of talk about it. We'd seen it online and went, oh, let's just get it.
I know.
And we definitely learned a lot of lessons there as well.
Yeah,
so,
we did. Although, we did. But then I think we always trust our gut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't we? So it's not always money and whatever. Obviously, if you haven't got the money to do something, that is going to make a difference. But I think we always, we're always looking forward to, what we're going to do, how we're going to do this. But it's never around us as a business for us. I think it's always about how can we make it better for them? How can we, what's out there that, maybe it's missing, or, students have asked for something. So we're very, that's a good idea. That's what we need to give them. So we've always done that, maybe to the detriment of us. Well, but we've always thought about students, and you know what? I'm sure you can. When I think about my training, everybody has different experiences, and we're not all the same. And that's, you're saying about apprentices. I know there are some amazing salons out there, and you do an apprenticeship with them, and you're learning 24/7, life skills, everything. And that's brilliant. And then you can go to another salon, and it might not be as fantastic as that. But if we don't motivate them, they're not going to want to go in it. And if they don't want to go in it, it's a dying trend, isn't it then? Yeah,
I think we've been very lucky with who we've worked with as well. Not just salons, but also like the students, our team, and then also externally. Like, I know I spoke about the freelancers like Tags, Rach, Kim, Anna,
loads.
Stuff like that. I just think like we learned loads off them. They probably wouldn't even realize that they were teaching us stuff, but it's like the stuff which I learned, like especially Tags. I know she's obviously a family friend and family, but it was like there was certain stuff which I didn't even think about in the salon. Yeah. And she'd tell me, and I'm like, well, obviously that makes so much sense.
Oh yeah, I see how you've changed.
But it didn't flick in my head. I'm more miserable now, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, you're not actually.
So my cleaning has improved, Tags. So you'll be happy to know that.
A little bit.
And I'm so good at folding towels.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks to
you have an apprenticeship in that.
I know. I could be an apprentice.
You could
But even that, like, I found out a lot of what apprentices do, even though we didn't have an apprentice there for the girls, but like Em used to tell me, this is when we'd use an apprentice or that and that and that. And it's like, yeah, stuff like that's amazing. We've been really lucky with who we've worked with in this industry, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think there's been, any relationship that we've had in the past or have now or looking to in the future. There's nobody that I think, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, 100%. And it's literally only positives I can think of out of it, which is
definitely
very surprising.
Well, yeah, but even if it doesn't completely work out, you still get something from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we've got that mindset, haven't we? Well, yeah, I know I do. I love surrounding myself with positive people.
Yeah.
Because it rubs off. And yeah, when you get to my age, there's not much time left. So you want to have as much, I love this profession, and yeah, I want to be in it as long as I can be. So I don't know how long I can wear white Pumas for anymore. I know. But anyway, I love it, and I'm really excited for what we've got to come, because when I see our students, and there's no way we just happen to get good students.
No, I know. And that was something I was going to say about the surrounding yourself with positive people, because that's one thing I know you will say it, but my experience in education, I can't remember having groups like what we have here.
No,
and I know that's very cliche.
Oh, it is, isn't
say
it?
That. But I mean, I remember I've told Stace so many times, and Elise, and it's like, we are so lucky.
Oh, definitely.
So lucky. And it's like, I don't know whether it's the industry or not, because obviously I've only been in the industry for say 5 years with the barbering side of it. So I don't know whether that is an industry thing where it's just like, if something's wrong, they'll just say, look, I've had a stinking day. I don't feel well. I don't think I should be here.
Yeah.
Whereas I've taught leadership, management, business, fitness and whatnot, and they'll come in and I'm like, you're not 100%, but they'll just go and they'll come in, they'll ruin the dynamic. And it's
yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it? It's ruining the dynamic. It's knowing when to say, shouldn't be here today. Because there's not many professions where you are one-on-one with a stranger for, what could be an hour, could be, in hairdressing, could be even 3 hours. And if you're not feeling it, they're not feeling it.
Yeah.
And it's a knock-on effect. But no, I mean, if you ask me, who's your favorite student? Because we're not supposed to have favorites.
No, we're not.
But we do. I couldn't tell you, because I love them all.
I know. I did say that to Zoe and Ruby. It's like that, like we have soft spots for certain groups and stuff like that, like our first ever group, and then like our biggest group and stuff like that, obviously. But it's really starting to, I don't know whether I'm getting old and soppy. Like
maybe.
I know it could well be the thing, but it's like, when I said this to Zoe on the last podcast and Rubes, like when I see them working in the shop and it's like the shops posting their photos, I'm like, oh my God, that's so like amazing.
It is because you see them when they come in, when they're really raw. And some of them, haven't got the confidence yet. Maybe they're younger, they haven't got the life skills or whatever, or maybe they're cocky. And then they get to the end and you go, oh my gosh.
I know.
Which just goes to show that it is a great profession, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I used this example with Zoe because I was like, and we mentioned this in the last one, but if you looked at Zoe's Instagram, you would think she is the most confident person I've ever met in my life. Like overconfident, arrogant, like, because she's like, she'll be doing photos, she'll be talking live on Instagram and stuff like that. But she is so down to earth.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
And I remember her doing cuts in Mermaid. I still remember this day, and I know I brought it up, but I remember coming in and you'd covered the class.
Yes.
And she was like, I've got a skin fade coming in. First time she'd ever held clippers. And I was like, what are you doing a skin fade for? She goes, oh, just some guy walked past. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Which kind of shows her confidence. But she was like, oh,
but she thought I could do it.
No, she goes, oh, so you can teach me.
Which was definitely no.
I know, exactly. So it was, I'd come in and she was looking at me kind of going like,
help.
Yeah, you're going to have to come and help me here. And then smash through it. But then I remember her doing cuts in here and I'm like, Zoe, that is amazing cut. And she's just like, oh yeah, no, I could have done this or I couldn't have done that. And it's like, oh, I didn't think it did too well. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But I hope now, and I think it is starting to realize now that she's full-time, fully qualified and stuff like that, she's starting to realize, oh yeah, I am a good barber.
Yeah, like, they are.
And again, a terrible business mindset. But we don't really leave them go until we feel like, all right, we're pretty confident and you can now walk into a shop and go, I can do
definitely.
this. Yeah. And again, that's one thing which we shouldn't really be doing technically from a financial point of view. But I know full well we're all on the same page with that. Like our trainers never go, there you go, off all the best. Like, there's still students here who are way past their end date. Yeah. But because they're like, oh, I still don't feel confident, cool. We'll keep on coming in and cutting in. And when you feel like, all right, now I'm getting in, then you go into a shop. So, and it's great that everybody is on the same page there. It's nobody like, oh, I can't be bothered with these. Like,
no, everybody. Oh God, I know this sounds so soppy, but it is family.
Well, yeah,
it is.
This is what Rube said. It was like, I feel like they're all our kids.
Yeah.
And I know that's like so sad because a lot of our students are older than me as well. But it's
none are older than me, by the way.
No, I know. But yeah, it is that. It's kind of like, yeah, it's amazing. And I do have to pinch myself. And you know what I'm like. I have very high standards. And I think you do as well. It's one thing which we've always had here. And nothing's ever good enough.
No.
Like, I know you said yourself about surrounding yourself with positive people and stuff like that. I try and do that as much as I can. But I think a lot of people see me as negative with certain stuff. But I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be honest, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like Rob, who we just spoke about then, about like how he was saying about our social media, the website. And he's like, it's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it is amazing. But I'm nowhere near where I want this place to be. Like,
no, but that's great, isn't it? How sad would it be if we were sat here and we said, we made it?
Yeah, but you know what? And this is, I can't even remember if I said this on the last podcast, but when we, like, I didn't say this, I said it to Owen, I remember now. When we bought that salon, I was like, this is it. I'm done. Because I wasn't in the business as much as what I am now. And I was still working full time and there was more people on board. I was kind of like, oh, we must be killing it. And I'm like, everybody's looking in going like, geez, they bought a salon, they're doing this, they're doing that. And I was like, wow, like we've done it. Like,
rocket. This time next year,
I know,
we'll be millionaires.
I know. So we have a bit of a funny thing where we message each other saying that, don't we? Like, this time next year, we'll be millionaires. And I think again, that's something which starting to grow up and surrounding myself with certain people. And that's you and Dad as well. Dad and yourself. Very good English. Like it's also like growing up, there was never, ever any mention of money. Like, you know what I mean? I would have it always makes me laugh at them with that story about the 4x4 Bentley. And she's like, why don't we just buy one of them? And I'm like,
yeah, why not?
She sees it. So basically the story was I was reading a magazine or something, and Emily, my little sister, who was, I'd say she would have been around 12 or 13 at the time. I'm flicking through the magazine and she goes, oh, that car's nice. I was looking at cars. And it was a Bentley 4x4, which was $500,000 or something like that. And she goes, why don't you just buy that? And I was like, how much money do you think I have? And she goes, oh, all of my friends in school drive those cars.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, it's the different upbringing, which is crazy because obviously she was brought up by yourself. But I think it was like Dad was never one for flash cars. Like it was always like nice cars, like, but holidays was his thing. As you can tell, my mum's tan. My dad is darker. He'd blend into these seats.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he?
But yeah, it's like, and he never said to me, "Oh, you need to do this career for money," and neither of you.
No.
But I think we're more on the same. Well, I hope we're on the same mindset. We've been business partners for a while.
Yeah, it would be a bit sad otherwise.
In regards to that, it's more just like, and I asked Zoe this question about like, and I'll ask you the same. Like, what do you classify as rich? Like, what's your idea of rich in your head? And this is probably one which, what did you think maybe 20 years ago was rich, and then probably what you think now is rich?
Oh yeah, totally different.
Yeah,
totally different. I mean, when I was younger, rich would be I did nothing.
Yeah,
I'd have enough money, you know, I wouldn't do anything. Now it's being rich. I mean, family's everything. It's always been. So that's, you know, sideline. We won't talk about that. But it's just having enough to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You just need enough to do what you want to do. So if, you know, I want to take a break, if I want to grow the business, if I want to spend on the grandkids, whatever, that's being rich.
Yeah, and I think we're very close to that with yourself. I know that's been something which we started the business. My whole goal was for you to be a grandmother here in Australia. Like, that's why we moved to Australia. We didn't move to Australia for us both to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Are you telling me something, Carl?
With what?
About grandchildren?
No, I'm definitely not.
Okay.
We have a grandchild, it's Spud. So yeah, basically that was the whole idea, was to do that. And I think, and I mentioned this to Rob, my brother, last night, it's like, it's starting to get there where you can now start to mix both, like you were saying, to have those day or two off a week.
Oh, it's amazing.
Because I think that then helps with the business, which sounds ridiculous, because you'll see these, I see them all the time on Facebook, like, you need 4 hours sleep, you need to work and stuff like this. And it's funny because Arthur and myself laugh about this all the time, because I'm like, if I worked 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, we would be so far backwards from where we were.
Yeah.
Like, it's there. And Owen made a very good point to this as well. There's kind of got to be a point in the day where you go, right, I can work up until then, and then I'm not allowed to now. That's family time after it. And it's one thing which I have really tried to do this year, which doesn't help now that I'm teaching in the nights. But it's one thing where even on the weekend, all right, well, we'll try and do something where I'll just shut off, like no phone, no laptop and everything like that. But it is hard because...
It is, but grandchildren help. Yeah,
well, it's been great that obviously you see all of the kids. Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's having that flexibility in the business as well. But you know, we're going off track here.
Yeah, we are. Family.
I know. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the next 12 months. So what's your kind of goals personally, as well as career, business related as well?
Okay, now you're going to laugh at this one.
I'm not going to laugh at anything.
But I've already done it. I have enrolled in a class for cake decorating.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's really cool.
I thought, you know what? I like that. I'm not going to do anything with it. But when I have done some things like that, I love it.
Right. I'm going to cut you off here a second.
Right.
Pete, I'm also going to send you a photo of the cake that Mum made week before.
Yeah.
Of Jackson, my nephew's birthday cake, which is absolutely amazing. He loves cricket, right? But we'll put the picture up on here. It's sensational. Pete will probably be like, that's the best thing ever, because that's how I met Pete, was through cricket. But also, side note, I remember my dad telling me about your cooking when you first met, which was non-existent. Yes. Which is hilarious, because I kind of feel the same now with Lani and myself. Oh God, she's going to kill me.
I know.
Anyway, like I remember him saying, you can't heat up chicken dinosaurs. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. It was like they'd be burnt, which is crazy because Nanny and Kenny used to cook so much.
Well, that was the point, wasn't it? Why did I need to do it if they were going to do it? Which is
hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my cooking is my get out. Like that's my, you know how people go, oh, I'm going for a run.
It is, isn't it? It's so
Running
relaxing.
is not my thing. Well, yeah, but then you may think it's relaxing, but then you speak to somebody like Lani, and Lani will be like, I would rather sing in front of 10,000 people than cook dinner for 4 people.
Well, as you know, I would sing in front of...
Yeah, no, so would I. Yeah. I'd have to be very drunk, but I'd definitely give it a good go.
Yeah, and I would.
So yeah, we also mentioned about doing a Christmas song, off topic. How good would a Christmas song be for the college? I know, I was like, why the hell don't we do a Christmas song?
I know. I can improvise now if you want.
No, I think we give that a miss.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so that was your personal one?
Yeah, that's my personal one. For the business, I mean, I feel a bit like I just do what I'm told. You know what I mean? I trust you so much to make...
That sounds horrible.
No, I know it doesn't.
That sounds like I tell you to do what you do.
What I mean is you make such good decisions, and because you're younger and you're in Instagram, Facebook, whatever everything else is, you're on, you know, you've got your fingers on the pulse and you know what's happening. So I just find it so easy. You know, we were talking about finances and not having to know about that. Being passionate about my industry and education, and then having you to go, hey, we're going to do this. And I go, oh, that's amazing. I don't know why I haven't thought about it. What if we do this as well? And you'll go, oh yeah, that's it. So I think I am more than happy to go, but
go
where you take me.
We're
back to Genesis. Follow me, follow you.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about working with people and writing barbering resources. That would be my goal at the end of, you know, during this year, the end of the year, to produce amazing resources for our students. But then if it went anywhere else, well, then great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one when you say what I've done. But my thing is I'm only able to do what I can do because of our team.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And our team is yourself, Lani, Stace, everyone, like literally all of our trainers.
So you're making me look awful now. I didn't mention the team. I mean, that was just...
Well, you are meaning the team.
It just because... you know, I do. I love all of them and I value each one of them and what they contribute. And they all contribute something different.
They do, but that's the massive advantage which we have because... Like, there's one thing which it's been hard for us over the years is to get like just a solid team which has helped you out a lot.
Oh yeah.
And that was I think that's where Lani has been a massive advantage. And again, I'm not being biased because she's my partner, but I think it's like...
No, she's amazing.
She is amazing.
Yeah, she is.
But it's also like these ideas aren't just me at night going, oh yeah, that would be a great idea. That's me messaging Arthur at 2:00 in the morning going like, what's your thoughts on this? And then him messaging back at 2:15 in the morning going, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And then by 6:00 in the morning, we've got something to show to you guys. Like that for me. And this is another thing. I don't know why people ask me business stuff. Because I have no business background. We winged it with everything. Like Pete, who not editing video Pete, but Pete, our personal kind of finance advisor. Oh, that was good. He'll like that. Yeah. But like that stuff to me was the one where I've winged it. And then when I speak to people and they're like, what do you recommend? I'm like, get a good accountant.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I would say that.
For somebody who can go like, all right, well, this is your business. This is how it's structured. This and this and this and this. like the individuals, and it's quite funny when everybody goes, I'd love to run my own business and stuff like this.
Really?
And I know, because it's funny, like, again, we're just so lucky that we've got the people who we do around us.
Yeah.
Because
we couldn't do it otherwise.
no, we couldn't. And I know I tell them that a lot, but I don't think it really clicks with them. I think they're just going, yeah, whatever, he's just saying that.
Yeah.
But genuine, it's like, if we didn't have the people in our team, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, definitely
like, we
not.
actually wouldn't be here. And that's just not the team who are here now. That's the team who we've had previously and everything.
Yeah,
it's
everybody
like
has helped
everyone
us.
from day one. It's been absolutely crazy. And to see where we've come in, I am going to say a short amount of time for business, because 6.5 years isn't a long time.
It isn't.
But to see where we're going to go in the next 12 months, like what you said, the people who we're chatting to, it's like, if you would have asked me 12 months ago that we'd be sitting down with somebody who we did 2 days ago, I would have been like, no, not a chance. And it's like, it's little stuff like that.
But isn't it nice to meet people who have got the same moral compass?
Yeah, I know, which is very rare.
Isn't it?
But yeah, that is something which is amazing, because it's just so easy. Like, it's just, everything is like, yeah, I had the exact same idea. Oh, all right, well, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. And it is awesome to see. So yeah, I'm super, super excited. And I haven't been this excited about something in a long time, like, especially work related, because it has been such a tough couple of years with what's gone on in the world, obviously.
Oh, that has
made a
huge difference.
Yeah,
obviously it's put back, goals, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, we are expanding, and that has damaged us and set us back a little bit. But yeah, I'm so excited about where it can go. Like, there's so much growth available, and that's in all of our, like, Propel, Elysian, the Barber Academy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing for me when I think about, like, what we've done as a business, and I'm like, wow, that's actually amazing that we've managed to keep 3 colleges.
Yeah.
And 3 colleges doing really well and growing. And again, that's the team. Like, that's Nick looking after Propel. Then there's like Elysian with Michelle, and there's the Barber Academy with a lot of trainers. But again, it's they're putting their time and effort into us as well. They see what we want to do, and they're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that, which I think is really rare, because I do see other colleges, and I speak to trainers and owners and stuff like that, and they're just like, I get my pay, that's all. Like, I knock off at 5.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and it's funny, because that's how Lani used to be. And that's the way that I used to be. Like, 10 years ago, I remember I was like packing up 10 minutes before 5 o'clock, going like, get me out of here. Like, but I think that's also the atmosphere which we try and create here. We don't want people thinking like, oh, I got to go to work today. Yeah. Like, I've got to go in there. I've got to deal with my bosses. Like, I don't classify us as bosses. No. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say we're more like advisors. Because we try. Yeah, we try to anyway. But we do make sure that our team has as much flexibility as possible. Like, and that's one thing which I know we have been, like, look what we're doing now. Yeah. They're all on Christmas holidays, but we're in here trying to do stuff for next year. So everything is done for them before they start back. And I know that sounds like a little bit silly, but I want people to enjoy it. And it's the same as us. It's like, I told Lani, I was like, turn your computer off. I was like, I want you to have a break. I don't care about having a break, because I don't need a break. Like, that's not in my thing to go, oh, I'm going to have 2 weeks off, which is so frustrating. I don't think
you can, though, can you? When you've got a business. Obviously, it's our business. So I wouldn't want to just...
switch off.
No, exactly. And you know why? It's because I'm excited.
Yeah, and that's literally what I said to Arthur when I spoke to him yesterday. It's like, there's a part of me which goes kind of like, I remember a couple of years ago, I was desperate, and I'd go back home for 4 weeks, and I'm thinking in my head, wow, I just left that business for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think but yeah, I couldn't imagine 4 hours.
But you think it's as well now that you've really got into barbering?
Yeah, it definitely helps knowing, like,
doesn't it?
Being in the industry, like.
Because you see, I think that's what maybe makes us different. And again, I'm not saying we're all high and mighty or anything like that. I'm sure there's other businesses the same. But I think it makes a difference when the business owners love the profession so much. Because I can, even sometimes the trainers will say something and you'll say something and I go, oh, it's not as easy as that, Gar. Yeah. Because I have actually taught, hairdressing.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sure now when you're in class and everything, you go, oh, how on earth did I expect?
Yeah.
There's got to be a happy medium. Obviously it's a business. If you haven't got any money, then you can't train any more students or you can't have the staff that we've got. But it does make a difference if you love it. I mean, if this was if we were delivering some other course that I wasn't particularly interested in, I wouldn't be thinking of ideas or new ways to deliver or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is the profession.
It is quite funny that we have members in our team who have no industry experience, but are yet so passionate about it. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, Arthur said it.
Oh, I know, Arthur.
The other day, and it's like he has no thing about barbering. Like, he loves barbering, but it's like he hasn't got any skill background in barbering.
No, he's going to be upset at you.
I know he will be upset. As soon as I said it, I was like, he will be upset. So Arthur cuts Bronx's hair, his son's hair,
and he does it very well.
And it's amazing. It's so good. So sorry, Arthur. I apologize to that. Yeah. I'll take that back. You have some skill in barbering, but you'll be the first one to tell anyone. You'll be like, look, if you have barbering questions, don't speak to me about it. But he just loves the industry. Yeah. Which is nuts, because this is why we will start getting more people on the podcast who aren't in the industry, because I want to know what people think about the industry. Yeah. That's hairdressing, beauty, barbering. Like it's crazy, because I know we spoke to Prue the other day about the mental health side of stuff. And it's like that coming from a hairdressing point of view, now a barbering point of view. It's like there seems to be a very, very strong trend where this is happening a lot now when people are going, I am struggling. Yeah. And it's where they'll say it, how you deal with it and whatnot. So yeah, there's definitely that side of it coming into play, which is what we've included in our courses and whatnot, which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, I'm so excited to show what products we're putting on for 2022. Like
and we're learning.
We're always learning.
Or, Prue, I love her to bits anyway. And I think she's so amazing at what she does. And the fact that she makes cakes as well. Yeah, I know. Is just
we're going to be so
double
fat.
Whammy. But some of the things she was saying, I was going, oh, I'm gonna use that, because that is it's so nice to mix with people that are so passionate about what they do, regardless of what it is. Yeah. And you can, she made so much sense. And all I was thinking in the back of my head was, oh my gosh, our students are going to love this.
I agree. I think it's going to be so cool. Like, I mean, I said it, didn't I? I was like, Prue, I got to get you on the podcast. Oh. It's like, we spoke for 5 minutes and I was just like,
I know.
Like, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. But you know what that is again? That is again, is that hairdressing's a background, okay? And I'm a lot older than Prue, but she's still old school, if you want to call it. And the skills that we learned, they're transferable. You can use them anywhere. Yeah. And that's what she brings. She's got, you sit down with Prue and the story she'll tell you. It's just amazing. Yeah. And absolutely. When you've got those stories to tell students, you're onto a winner before you even start. Yeah. Because they want to know more. you know, it is. It's brilliant.
I know, it's good times. All right.
Is that a wrap? Is that what you say?
You can wrap if you want. No, thank you so much for coming on. I know you don't like doing this stuff.
No, I hate
So
it.
thank you very much.
So make sure that you Photoshop, okay?
Yeah, Pete, you're gonna have to. Can you make me as tanned as Mum? That'd be amazing. But yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in. Thank you for being here again. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow.
I know, I'm so excited.
Look at your Christmas attire, I love it. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll get out before Christmas. I'll be very impressed if Pete can get it out before Christmas. But if not, have a good New Year. We're super excited about what's going to happen in 2022.
Yeah, amazing.
There's big plans coming. There's big collaborations, big partnerships.
So difficult keeping everything secret.
I know,
isn't
it's
it?
like we will let you all know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited and I can't wait for everyone to come on the journey with us. So yeah, thank you so much for all of your support this year as well. That's everyone from students, our team, the salons and shops we work with. Everyone, thank you so much. So yeah, again, thank you, Mum.
Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you for being a good business partner.
Oh, thank you for
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Merry Christmas. Thank you for being a good son.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. All right.
Okay.
That's a wrap. Thank you, guys.